Hello everybody, this is Ironman, and I'm filling in for GL1. GL1 is still out there looking for the Loch Ness Monster. Hopefully nothing happened to him, so I'm filling in today. So, this show is going to be basically 12-inch Ironman figures through the last several, well, actually going back to 1995, and then doing some comparison analysis of my favorite toy, of course, Ironman. So, starting here with a 1995 Ironman toy. I got this used for $3, and I really don't know when. I don't remember when I got it, but it has moving knees and moving elbows, and then you have shoulders that go back and forth, and knees that go back and forth, and the head turns. And this is, I'm pointing this out because I want to show you how articulation changed throughout the years. So this is 1995, so we're talking 27 years ago. All right? And then moving on, we have, after the first Iron Man movie in 2007, we had two large Iron Man figures that came out. I think they're 13, 14 inches tall. And this one I got secondhand, and it does work. It's missing the battery case on the back. But what I wanted to show you is that these are the same toy. This is Iron Man before he colored his armor, okay? In the movie, he found that there was a certain polymer that, or sort of additive to the metal that made it more resistant to cold. So that's why it turned that color. The accessories all came with this one when I bought it new, and they are interchangeable. This is a big gun and has a big missile that launches off of that, and this also this can turn out, and then you have that. And they shoot, some of them shoot quite hard, and then you have your targeting scope, and that can come off like that. And then he has also an on-off switch, and you activate him by pushing the button here. Oh, well, he was working. All right, well now he is not working. But that's okay, because we have the other one that does all the same things. So this is Iron Man. So when you pick him up, it's like he's flying, okay? And then he also came with wings. You push a button on the back here, and then the wings flip out. And as you can see, he has his face mask can come on and off. And when he lands, so you can put him down, see, it makes a taking off sound. He has a trigger on his heel, and when you put him down, he'll land. And then his activation button here, I am Iron Man. And his head will move in all different directions. He has bendable elbows. All right. You can see it lights up with repulsor blast. And then it came with this also that connects down underneath, and it has a space so that you could still fire the repulsor blast missile. And you see when you push that, it also activates that, and then he has this big missile here, and that fires. And he also has mobile knees. Now his hips and shoulders do not move laterally, but he does have, just like 1995, the same joints, except that his head also can move in all different directions. So that's 2007. What you get in 2007, I believe that was $30. And so, it comes with a lot of accessories and features, and I thought that was worthwhile. Then things changed. We went to 2010. So 3 years later, okay, these three are all 2010. All right, so he changed the arc reactor in the movie, and then he had a triangle instead of a round circle.
I am Iron Man.
And he doesn't say as many things.
Iron Man armor, combat ready.
But it does say some cool things. His head does not turn on this one. And his arm goes up and down, and he has these big missiles that he fires. And he does have an elbow, and he does have knees.
Repulsor power.
And, you know, this costs a lot less. I think this was about $15.
For what power should he be?
Or 20. Maybe it was 20. All right. And then here's the silver one. I like the silver one, too.
I am Iron Man.
You hear the voice is different. It's louder.
Now this is armored up.
Now his head does turn.
Repulsor power. Jarvis, looks like we got their attention.
Okay. And then this is Jarvis. This is the arm for Jarvis that, like, it was hooked up to his computer to fix things.
Iron Man armor engaged.
So he came with these accessory rockets that go on and off. Okay. These don't have to really be bungeed on to stay. That real big one, you know, I do use those clear bungees I told you guys about, you know, to help hold things on. And they're clear, so not so invasive. And then they also came out with War Machine, and he'll tell you he's War Machine.
I am War Machine.
He'll tell you. And then this can move, this actually can come off and then move to either side.
War Machine armor, combat ready.
And he has a big missile here that fires. And where is that? No, it does fire. Let's see. You know, I try to test these things. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it is there. It's this thing trigger there. And then I didn't see where the missile was for this. And, you know, I put these things in boxes and stuff, and I can't remember where they are. But he also fires another missile out of there.
I am War Machine.
And
War Machine armor,
his head will turn.
combat ready.
Now, he still has elbows. So this is 2010. Remember, 3 years later. Still getting elbows. No lateral motion, of course, in the joints.
Now
But
this is armored up.
elbows and knees and heads that move around. All right. All right. Then moving to 2012. All right. Now we have knees, we have hips, but we don't have elbows anymore. Okay. Head moves in all different directions.
Sir, shields are offline. Thor, behind you.
He says a bunch of things.
Weapon systems online.
Now what's cool about him is you move his arm up, and then it makes a noise, and it says some, you know, a noise appropriate to the rockets moving up. And then you can fire these. Okay. Put them back down. And when they're down, it begs you to make a move.
I am Iron Man.
All right. And he is Iron Man, but I am Iron Man. All right. And then also in 2012 came this big guy. Now, I think this was $39.99. So this one's okay. So there's a button in the back and the front. Okay, the button in the back makes him shoot these rockets here. There we
Fire all weapons.
go. And then he'll just keep firing.
Repulsors, full power.
His eyes light up
Fire
as well.
repulsor cannon.
And then he fired them, everything.
Armor online. Mark 42, armor engaged. Systems critical.
But they still don't have the flying, you know, the sound with the flying, the trigger on the heel.
Rebooting systems now.
So what we got was a really cool, sophisticated automatic firing weapon, double buttons,
All weapons.
right? But we lost knees, we lost elbows,
Scanning for possible threat.
and it's big, right? So that's my toy other toy from 2012. All right, then 2013, we got the Iron Patriot. All right. It'll keep you safe. And then you move that, and then again you get a noise. A lot of noise. And that missile also launches. Fires pretty hard. And then you have this one that goes up, and then this also fires. Big missile. Okay. So we still have knees, we just don't have elbows anymore, and no lateral motion on the joints. But, you know, these are all in the like $15, $20 range at the time, all the smaller ones. And then here is this one. They moved the button on this one, that's what I remember. See his eyes light up on that one? It lights up quite a bit. And he's got a repulsor light on his hand as well. Both hands. Both hands. And when you move him like that, see his head moves automatically? And then he kind of like he's flying. So it's kind of nice that the button actually is out of the way, except that you forget where it is. It's on the hip. But it's nice that you can hold him like that and you don't have to cover, you know, where he's lighting up on his chest. Okay. So that's what they did for me in 2013. And he also has an on-off switch in the back. Okay. If you have any of these, if you have really any toys that you know are battery powered, and you're going to store them anywhere, you really need to think about taking the batteries out. They do corrode, and I have found that alkaline batteries actually corrode sooner. The cheaper batteries actually seem to take longer before anything goes wrong with them. But when they do corrode, they can eat away the metal, and then it really gets into the electronics and can ruin it. But a lot of times with an orange cleaner and like a razor blade, a little screwdriver, some cotton, a Q-tip, and you can get out all the corrosion and scrape the metal where the corrosion was, because actually the corrosion creates a layer where it won't make a contact with the battery. If you take that, really get all of that corrosion out, sometimes you have to scrape it with like a razor or the screwdriver head, make connection, and then it will work again. Actually, that happened to 2013 Metroplex. I thought I took the batteries out, and I didn't. They corroded, and I had to do a lot of cleaning to get that working again. Most of the time I'm successful, but sometimes I'm not. Even Jarvis and I in my laboratory, we still sometimes can't fix battery corrosion. We can build a suit, you know, that allows us to fly and can take missiles and machine gun fire and everything, but fixing corrosion, you know, is just sometimes a step too far for us to do. So take your batteries out if you're not going to play with it for a while. All right. Then we got Hulkbuster Hulk in 2015. Now, this line of toys, this Hulk and Thor and Hulkbuster have, as you can see, they have an infrared sensor, much like the same sensors that Goldberg and Sting have. And actually, I have some more talking wrestlers. And, you know, those are from '99. And they work really well, as you can see. You know, when Goldberg and Sting start talking to each other, the mouths move. They have like a magnetic switch inside that moves the plastic up and down, moves their mouth, and they really respond to each other. You move the limbs, and they say different things. They fall. They you know, say that, you know, the match is over. They do clotheslines with their arms and kicks with their legs, and they tell you that's what they're going to do. They recognize each other. Very sophisticated, and as you can see, actually works really well. These, not so much. I mean, here we are, you know, 20, you know, like 15, 16 years later, and I can't really tell if they're responding to each other at all. They say sometimes they reference each other, but it's not in direct relation to what they're saying. So I really don't know whether it's working, but they are supposed to do that. So the Hulkbuster, what's cool about Hulkbuster?
Rerouting power to arc reactor.
Okay, so button there.
Stop tearing up my armor.
Now you push this button here, and there's punching, and he makes a sound that goes along with that punching. It's like, you know, like a boxing, right? And then he says a bunch of things, and his head moves in directions. Now, no elbows, not even, we get no hips, no knees, we get nothing. We get, you know, he talks, he's supposed to communicate with others. I can't tell if he does. You get a button that makes sound. And this was $40 when it came out new. And there was no way that I thought that this was worth $40. And as you can see, the toys, they give you one thing, like maybe it talks, maybe it lights up, maybe it has an extra button, but they take like a couple things away. They take away knees, they take away elbows. They just don't give you a lot. And then they raise the price. They don't give you a lot as really, to me, as time goes on. You know, I mean, this was probably $5.99 when it came out, because that's about how much
Thor, you've got the power, I've got the tech.
All right, so he keeps talking. But, you know, in 1995, it was about $5.99 probably how much this was. And in some ways, prices on toys on some things haven't changed dramatically for what you get for the money. But I really think Marvel, sometimes it's a really wonky on what you get and what you pay. But I did like him, and I ended up getting him for like $15 because, again, Toys R Us was going out of business, and I had coupons and stuff that, you know, it was like if you shop there, you got these coupons back. They started doing that the last year or two, and so I was able to get him, you know, pretty inexpensively, and I do like it. And then you have Thor. So the reason I brought my Thors here is I wanted to show, you know, how they've changed as well. So this is the 2017 Thor. They came out with the 2017 Hulk, and this is for Ragnarok. And you know, they were supposed to talk to each other. And then you can push Hulk's button, which is, you know, try to remember where all the buttons are, and then I don't remember. All right, now. Oh, yes, right there. Yeah. It's actually really well hidden. The button is just right on the seam here. So he's smashing. So then you hit Thor, and then he doesn't say anything. So it's not like Goldberg and Sting where they just keep going back and forth.
Hulk is home.
Okay, Hulk is home.
Hulk, you are much stronger than I remember.
So is he responding? Oh, there you go. So
Hulk is grand champion.
So, okay, so he did respond once to what Thor said, right? Thor's like, you're stronger than I remember, and then he's like, Hulk is, you know, Hulk says then Hulk is strongest, but it's not very reliable. But, you know, they are neat. Now you get a head turn on Thor, you get no elbows, no knees, just some hip action, and they're like, hey, we'll, you know, oh, and you get real cloth, you know. We'll charge more because he's got this infrared thing that doesn't really work that well, and we're also not going to give you elbows and knees. So why don't they just give you everything and charge another $1 or something like that? All right, and then this is Hulk. We've seen this Hulk before, and his helmet comes off. And he is a good Hulk. He says a lot of things. Now this one is 2012. And unfortunately, he stopped talking. I tried multiple batteries. There was no corrosion or anything. He stopped talking. But what he does that's pretty cool is you raise his hand up like this, and you pull him back. It's got a spring, and he throws that. That's pretty cool and accurate. So he comes with a cool sword. So he's pretty good. Again, still, no elbows, no knees. So by 2012, you know, you definitely lost elbows and knees, whereas in it really depends on what line you were getting, right? Because you have 2013 War Machine. You did get knees. You did not get elbows. but he got elbows but no knees. So, all right, you get this, you don't get that. And then this one here, this is Thor 2011. You get knees, you get elbows. So 2012 seemed to be the year where you just got one or the other. And
I am Thor!
he is Thor. And the hammer lights up.
I summon thunder and lightning!
And you know, Thor and I had our battles. You know, he thought, oh, I'm the god of thunder. I'm so powerful. Well, I showed him what what I can do, huh? With a little bit of thinking things through, making a suit of armor, you could take on the Hulk in a Hulkbuster suit, and really, huh? Didn't I do a job on Hulk and Hulkbuster? I mean, bam, right? It's not so good for Hulk in that. And then Thor, when I was charged up 400%, and one of these does say that, and then blast, boom, I gave him what I had there, and that took Thor by surprise. Next, I wanted to show you, this is another Marvel product. This came out in 2018, and this is Miss Marvel, and she's kind of neat because she has rubber boots, like a sort of a plasticky boot that can come off, and she has knees, and she has hips that move in directions. Her shoulders do not. She doesn't have elbows, but that's a little bit explained by the fact that she has electronics that go down to her hands, and they light up. So if you had moving elbows and you had a joint, you would have to run the wires through the joint, and repeatedly doing that would probably fray the wires and break them over time. So you really wouldn't want that. And then she has real hair, So it's a cross between an action figure and a doll, and I think that's really cool. And it's, to me, sometimes, they're really the same thing, but I think what makes a doll versus an action figure a lot of times is whether it has like hair, you have real hair. Well, not real hair, but like hair, like real hair. Okay. And I wanted to show you another important difference between Marvel and DC figures. So DC is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, those guys. Okay. So this is 2018 Superman, and this is 2017 Thanos. Okay. They cost about the same. They were both, well, actually, this was $10, and this, I think, at the highest cost was $15. And then you could get it, sometimes it maybe went down to like $12, and then I think I got a clearance for like $5. So you do get shoulder action, you get no elbows, you get hip action, you get no knees, you cannot twist the waist, okay? The head does move around a little bit, a little bit of left and right, up and down, okay? And that is a Marvel product. That is Thanos. Then Superman 2018, so like a year later, less money, all right? You will get hips, knees, shoulders, elbows, wrists that turn. Actually, Thanos' wrists turn too. Don't want to be unfair to that. But this one does not. But you also get, in Superman, he has fists, but you get hands that can grip something. So you could put something in his hand. His head does not look all around. Some of the DC figures do. This one, he just looks left and right, and his waist doesn't twist, but some of them, the waists do twist. And you get real cloth for the cape. But I think that really, when you have lateral hip motion and shoulder motion, you're getting a lot more playability for your money. I mean, you could do an action pose, where he's flying like that, and you could be flying and, doing a double punch or something. And Thanos, it's like he's doing a clothesline. He's punching like Frankenstein. It's like that, and then Superman can just sort of block it, right? He can just block it like this, and he's swinging like that. And then, maybe Thanos can kick, but it's kind of easy to see because he doesn't bend his knee, whereas Superman can come up and get him a knee right in the chin and knock Thanos backwards. So, all right, you're not here to watch Ironman play, but I'm just trying to demonstrate to you that, DC movies are not as popular. There's not as many toys devoted to it. But what you do get with the toys, I think a lot of times, is more playability. And that would extend also to the 6 and 7-inch action figures as well, which we will also get into and compare and contrast those. I have a lot of both figures, and I've just sort of been, there's so much to go through with GL1's collection. So, trying to give you something different each time and a different take, a different kind of show. And again, of course, having me fill in while he's out there somewhere in the bush looking for now the Loch Ness Monster. And, hopefully nothing's happened to him. I mean, none of us here at Toy Talk have heard from GL1 at all. And, sometimes he'll get like that. He'll just be out there and he'll forget, where he's at. But hopefully, he's messing around some dangerous things out there, right? Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, and he might even discover something that he wasn't even expecting. So I want to thank you for watching Toy Talk, and unlike GL2, I do know how to do the send-off. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. All right, Iron Man out. $26.